Hey everyone, and welcome to Rapid Recovery and Scalable Data Protection with Rubrik Integration from Microsoft 365 Backup Storage. Now that is quite a title. Today's webinar is sponsored by Rubrik and produced by Actual Tech Media. I am Keith Ward with the aforementioned Actual Tech Media, and I am truly excited to be your moderator for today's event. But before we get there, I need to go over some important housekeeping stuff with you. And the first thing is that we want this to be an informative, educational event, so please send in your questions. Just put them right there in the questions box in your webinar control panel. And at the end of the presentation, we're going to do some Q&A, so keep those questions coming. Now, that Q&A panel is also the place to let us know about any technical issues you might be having. Our browser refresh is your first go-to option to fix most audio, video, slide advancement issues. If that doesn't work, well, do another refresh. Sometimes it takes a couple of them. If that still doesn't work, tell us in that Q&A box. We will hop on right away and try to help you out. All right. Next up, the handouts section of your webinar control panel, that is right there next to the questions tab, has some awesome resources, including a link for more information on getting started with Rubrik. So you're going to want to check that out right now. Another link you're going to find there is one to the ATM Decisions Group, which is a panel of IT decision makers, maybe like you, that you can apply to join to participate in more in-depth events and other opportunities not available to mere mortals. You'll also find there a link to the ATM Events Center, which has our calendar of more upcoming events just like this one. And finally, save the best for last. At the end of this webinar event, we're going to be awarding a $250 Amazon gift card to one of you. Now, you have to be in attendance during the live event to qualify for that prize. The official terms and conditions of which can be found in the handouts section as well. Scroll to the bottom and you'll see all of that stuff there. All right, folks, with that, let's get to the content. What do you say? It is my pleasure to introduce you to our presenters today, who are Eran Carmel, Principal Product Manager for Rubrik, and Bradley Gusson, Principal Group Product Manager for Microsoft. They are locked, loaded, and ready to go. Eran is kicking this off. So, Eran, I am going to hand you the virtual mic, sir. Take it away.
So today we're going to talk about Rubrik data protection for Microsoft 365 backup storage, a new exciting offering from Rubrik and Microsoft. Let me start by introducing myself. I'm Eran Carmel. I'm Principal Product Manager for Rubrik for M365 protection. And today I'm going to present with Brad, who's my counterpart at Microsoft. Brad, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Ron. So I'm the principal product manager for the Microsoft 365 backup storage platform. Really excited to be talking about this offering and Rubrik's enhancements on top of it today with Eran.
So today we're going to start, Brad is going to talk about the landscape of challenges and Microsoft 365 backup storage, and then I'll talk about how Rubrik takes advantage of this platform and creates a solution for customers. So Brad, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, thanks a lot. So let's start by framing this a little bit. There's a lot of data growth in Microsoft 365 today. This is driven by organic content creation, driven by generative AI creating content on behalf of end users, and as customers migrate data into our storage platform to take advantage of all our great features. To add a little bit of context around that here, there's more than 2 billion new files created every single day in Microsoft 365 as of this recording. I think it might actually be 2.5 billion files as of right now. We have lots of new tenants growing by more than a petabyte a month. And so just incredible data growth we see in the ecosystem today. Now, when you look at all that data, customers come to us with some interesting challenges as it relates to ransomware attack recovery or the recovery of healthy content from after malicious or accidental content deletions or overwrites by users or admins. And while there are some solutions in place for these scenarios today, they're really plagued by a few interesting challenges related to slow export and import. So it takes a while to make a copy of the data and then quite a while to import it. And then also the scale of orchestration related to recovering that content is quite complex when you're talking about those billions of files, millions of files in a customer's tenant, and petabytes or even exabytes of data in some cases. At the end of the day, what the customer really wants from us is real business continuity assurance. They want to know that in the face of an attack or a data compromise on their side, they can get their business back up and running as quickly as possible so that there's really very minimal impact on their operations as a result of these kinds of scenarios. Now, if we look at what exists today in the market for business continuity recovery, the customer is effectively relying on exporting the data to another location, and then after an attack occurs, trying to import that data all back in so that they have it where they need to run their business. And the obvious concerns here when you're talking about terabytes or petabytes of data is that it can take quite a long time, weeks, several months, even a year in some cases, to export or import all that data. And that's time that the customer really just doesn't have when they need to get their business back up and running. It's sort of a suboptimal solution at the time when they need it most. That's why we've introduced Microsoft 365 Backup Storage, a platform on top of which partners are building their solutions, such as Rubrik, and that offers really fast backup and recovery. So that means that they're able to get their data protected in a matter of hours and then back into their tenant in a healthy state and prior point in time within a matter of hours again, instead of weeks or months or years. And that means that your data is going to be back in a healthy state as soon as possible when you're hit by a ransomware event. On top of that, it also provides really great strict security control because the data is maintained within the Microsoft 365 trust boundary. The APIs that are used to control the backup storage platform are strictly limited to those operations so that excess, overly permissive data access does not need to be granted to anyone outside the normal operators of your tenant within your company. And then these help ISVs tie together some really powerful, intelligent workflows, which Eran here is going to talk about in a little bit as well. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at the architecture of the backup storage platform. Effectively, what's happening here is we're keeping copies of prior points of time of your data in immutable storage, but within the M365 compliance boundary. And that's what provides the ability for us to guarantee durability and immutability of the backups, but also ensure that you have the data in the geographic region that you've required from Microsoft. If you require your data to be in a certain region in the world, certain country in the world, we honor that. Again, of course, still keeping multiple physically redundant and separated copies of the data, but ensuring that we're meeting your compliance, your security, and your privacy needs. And most of all, an ability to back up and restore your data in the case of an emergent event. And really, at the end of the day, you're not really buying a backup, you're buying an ability to restore and get back your business continuity as quickly as possible. Now, before I hand it off to Eran, I'm just going to set this up a little bit here. While we have our native offering for backup, what someone like Rubrik is able to offer is an ability to tie together a coherent backup solution across all of your data estates to add intelligent, optimized workflow and additional security, cybersecurity resilience packaged around these APIs to offer you an advanced solution on top of Rubrik data protection offering. So I'm going to hand it off to Eran now to really dive into some of those key capabilities that they're adding. It's really exciting. Go for it, Eran.
So thank you, Brad. We're going to talk about Rubrik data protection on M365 backup storage. And Rubrik is very proud to be a Microsoft partner and deliver the joint solution. Brad already talked about the explosion of Microsoft 365 data. And we know from our own Rubrik Zero Labs that research that 61% of attacks affect SaaS applications. So making SaaS the most targeted platform. And actually, if you look at the most targeted platform on SaaS, it's M365. So we are completely in agreement with Microsoft on the need to upping the game in terms of Microsoft 365 protection. Microsoft's upcoming backup solution is limited to Microsoft 365, and Rubrik can extend that beyond Microsoft 365 and beyond the cloud. Customers basically will get a solution that has all the benefits of the Microsoft 365 new solution with the ease of use and the single pane of glass of the Rubrik Security Cloud. So you can combine 365 with an SQL database, with VMware, non-Microsoft, Microsoft, everything goes together and easy to use in a single platform. You got the speed of mass restores, again, on top of the Microsoft APIs. You get extra enterprise features, and you also get visibility into the sensitive data and where sensitive data lives. If we look at what is going on in the world, it's a scary world. Customers need to prepare for two kinds of events. Traditionally, you would rely on native tools for cyber recovery and data exfiltration. But the thing is that these come together these days. You can either get your data encrypted or deleted, or maybe the data is exfiltrated and stolen. So both of these situations could hold your data for ransom and compromised by hackers. So you need a way to actually manage exfiltration, and that means basically making sure that your data is not exposed or stolen, and you need to make sure that you're completely resilient to other types of attacks which might actually breach the data and cause damage. So if you look at what you need a more comprehensive data-centric solution. And if you look at what we have, what Rubrik has, Rubrik DSPM basically helps you prevent data exfiltration. So it combines posture management, which makes sure that your configuration is the right one and you're not exposing data. It gains insight into where your data is, helps you automatically classify the data, identify risks, and then combine it with protection of the data and being able to recover it. So let's look at the Rubrik use cases. Basically, if you need complete cyber resilience for more than just Microsoft 365, we as Rubrik can help you with multi-cloud and beyond cloud. If you want to protect Microsoft Teams, 365 backup storage covers SharePoint, OneDrive, and Exchange, and Rubrik can actually add Teams as well as part of the story. You can basically, the simplicity of Rubrik helps you do bulk recovery, which is an enterprise feature, in just a few clicks. And if you want a solution that can enrich Microsoft Purview, Rubrik DSPM can do exactly that and provide a more holistic solution for everything that is data related. Rubrik and Microsoft have been working together for a while now. We already have over 2,500 joint customers. Rubrik won Partner of the Year for Healthcare and Life Sciences vertical, and we're even the fastest growing Azure storage partner. We're working together on many projects, and this is just another project where we're working together and we're making sure that when Microsoft has new innovation, we're part of that innovation and we release a product that can help you leverage the new technologies.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled about this partnership growing even more between Microsoft 365 and Rubrik now. Very trusted partner.
So if we look at how we maximize the Microsoft investment, we're positioned extremely well to help you maximize your existing Microsoft investment, and if it's Microsoft 365 or anything else. We help you regarding long-term retention in the cloud, in Azure, or even in non-Microsoft environments. We can help you get more information And we actually integrate with the Microsoft tools like Microsoft Sentinel dashboards and others, with us enriching the data there. Let me pass it on to my colleague to actually show you and run you through the demo.
Thanks, Eran. Here we are on the main dashboard for Rubrik's SaaS application protection. We can see we already have a number of M365 subscriptions and backup storage instances configured. Adding more is as simple as selecting Add Instance, providing your credentials into your M365 subscription, and letting Rubrik handle the rest. Once onboarded, Rubrik will automatically inventory all of the objects within the subscription, and we'll see our subscription listed here. For instance, looking at our subscription here that starts with RDNN, we can see that we have configured SharePoint, Exchange, and OneDrive to be protected. Now, while Microsoft currently does not support Teams within the backup storage platform, Rubrik does support it with our fully hosted M365 backup solution. For all your Teams-based organizations, plus organizations looking to take advantage of some of Rubrik's security-related services like sensitive data monitoring, we have you covered with our fully hosted M365 solution. For now, let's dive into Exchange Online and have a look at how we configure protection within our M365 backup storage integration. Protecting Exchange with Rubrik's M365 backup storage integration is a cinch and offers more functionality than just leveraging M365 backup from Microsoft. Firstly, we can protect individual users by simply selecting them and then applying an SLA domain directly to the user. Yes, this integration uses that same policy-based protection concept that you've grown to love within the Rubrik platform. Simply define your policy, which contains things like your RPO, how often you want to back up, and your retention, how long to keep those backups, and simply apply them to your Exchange and OneDrive users or to your SharePoint sites. We can also assign SLA domains at the subscription level for each individual M365 service. For instance, here we could assign an SLA domain directly to the entire Exchange Online service. That way, all existing and any newly created users within this subscription would automatically inherit the SLA and automatically be protected. No need to open up tickets with your help desk. No need to interface with your backup team at all. It all just happens automatically. This is not possible if you're using Microsoft as a first-party backup tool. So it just goes to show how much there is to be gained by implementing an experienced, feature-rich solution like Rubrik. Now, once a policy is assigned, Rubrik goes ahead and makes the appropriate API calls out to Microsoft in order for Microsoft to configure the M365 backup storage policies within their environment. And backups should begin almost immediately. Now, all this said, restoration is really where it's at with the M365 backup storage solution, pushing restore speeds of about 1,000 average size objects at a rate of 1 to 3 terabytes per hour. This is nothing to shy away from. Now, when we couple this performance with the simplicity and the intuitiveness that Rubrik provides, we really do have ourselves a great match. Now, let me show you what I mean by that. Here, we're on one of my test users' mailboxes. Now, I've already gone ahead and deleted all of the messages from Gaurav's mailbox here, and we can see it's completely empty. So let's jump back into Rubrik Security Cloud, and I'll show you just how easy it is to restore them. First, we'll simply select the user we want to recover, and then we'll select the point in time that we'd like to recover to. Again, look at those RPOs of 10 minutes. This is enough to please any backup administrator. Finally, we confirm the restoration one last time, and we're done. Rubrik now issues the proper API calls to Microsoft to begin the restoration, tracking the entire process within our Events tab here. And as we can see, our restore process has completed. So again, let's take a look at Gaurav's mailbox, and voila, there's the messages back safe and sound within his inbox like nothing ever happened. Back to you, Eran.
Thank you for that great demo. Now that you've seen it in action, let's talk about the Better Together story and how Rubrik enhances the Microsoft solution. So we already talked about, and you've seen the rapid restores that we get from the Microsoft APIs. In addition to that, we have the expanded recoverability by protecting Entra ID and helping you recover users and objects from scratch. We also have a centralized management that helps you do things easily and combine them with other workloads. And we have our DSPM solution that helps you have a complete cyber resilience. Together, it's a better, more comprehensive story.
Great. So I think, thanks for that overview, Ron. Really excited about everything I'm seeing here. Rubrik Data Protect building on top of the Microsoft 365 backup storage APIs to give customers really the best of everything that they need to solve their resiliency story and business continuity story. So really fantastic. This looks great. We did get a few questions in already on the webinar, so I thought we'd just hit some of those and then open up the floor more fully. So here's an interesting one that sort of gets right to the point. I'll pick up. How quickly can I be up and running with Rubrik's integration with Microsoft 365 backup storage? And so the key here really, again, it's on the order of hours, really. So to back up a tenant, if you have 1,000 sites, 10,000 sites, 100,000 sites, it's going to be about an hour or two at most to get that entire tenant backed up and protected. And then if an event compromises some of your data on the client side, you have a ransomware encryption attack or something like that, you're going to be able to restore your data really quickly. I think we're seeing today roughly about 3 terabytes an hour for the average tenant to get their data back up and running. That's about 20 to 30 times faster than is possible with export and import. So you can really see the magnitude of the impact here. Pretty incredible work. So powerful performance by the platform. And then tied to that, there's another question that says, is there a difference in performance with the native Microsoft M365 backup solution and the APIs that Rubrik is using? And this is a pretty easy answer. It's no. The platform is identical underlying both of them. So all of the performance enhancements you'd get with the native solution, you also get with Rubrik. But of course, you get all of those other additional benefits that Aran just talked about. So again, it's really, like Aran said before, it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = a lot more than 2. Really exciting there.
Well, yeah, so I say, of course, there's a question of, well, when will Rubrik integration come out? Well, part of being a Microsoft partner and working so close with Brad and the team is that this is out. This is ready for you to try out and to decide if it's the right solution for you.
Yeah, great. Really excited. This is already on market. Everyone should go try it out as soon as possible. And some customers also have a question I see here. Do I really need this premium offering? Do I need the fast backup and protection for all of my data? And the answer is somewhat, it depends on the customer, but really what we're recommending here is that if you have a lot of data that you need to protect, if you have some critical data that you need to get back up to a healthy prior point in time, in the case of an attack, the Rubrik's integration with Microsoft 365 backup storage is really the best way to do it. So if you're looking at any kind of real significant volume that you need to bring back to a healthy prior point in time, the backup storage platform through Rubrik is really the right way to go. And you should have that internal conversation with your CIOs and your SharePoint and Exchange admins to understand which data is most important to protect and bring back in a fast amount of time.
Yeah, Brad, looks like there's another question that would be great if you answered.
I missed that one. Yeah, thanks, Ron. So there's another question that says, to what extent does Microsoft 365 protect our data inside Microsoft 365? It's a great question, and really the service infrastructure protection, the durability, the resiliency, the high availability, and disaster recovery is all natively supported in our platform today. We have multiple copies of your primary and backed up data in physically redundant, geographically separate locations. So we protect against physical disasters. We actually ensure that your data is highly available. We actually do failovers from one database or one location to another seamlessly within hundreds of milliseconds. You don't even notice that it's happening, to give you the optimal uptime and availability that you can get really built into the service. You don't need to worry about having to replicate that because we take care of it for you. That's our responsibility.
Well, looks like, with Microsoft 365 backup storage, customers are going to be protected, and definitely a good solution to look at. I see there's one last one for me. What if we have a hybrid computing setup as well, with some data in Microsoft 365 and some on-site? So the whole idea with Rubrik is it's a single pane of glass. We have Microsoft Backup Storage, we have other solutions for SaaS, we have on-prem solutions, all through a single pane of glass, simple and straightforward, with all the goodness of our Rubrik Security Cloud solution. So the whole idea is pick and choose what fits you and use it in a single platform.
Yeah, it's a really key point here. I'll just add that when you're sort of in a disastrous event, when you've been hit by something scary and you want to get back, you really want one place to go to recover all that data quickly. The orchestration matters a lot, and going to a bunch of different systems is difficult. And so that's a great value prop that Rubrik adds here.
Yeah, by the way, kind of another thing that Rubrik has is we have kind of a cyber response team for customers that are in trouble. Luckily or unluckily, they're trained because we have run customers through cyber events. So beyond the software, we can actually help you with best practices and a team that actually has gone through this before and can help us. Hopefully, nobody ever needs the solution, and it's only an insurance policy, but we can make sure that that insurance policy actually works when you need it. It's very easy to start. Just click on the link, and you could be backed up in hours, like Brad mentioned before, and set up in minutes. So thank you for listening to us today. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Brad, for joining me on this webinar.
Yeah, thank you very much, too. And thanks to the audience. I hope you found this interesting and enlightening, and we're really excited about the partnership again.
Well, I certainly found it interesting and enlightening. Thanks, guys. Always great to hear what Rubrik is doing. Microsoft 365 backup storage, such a critical topic, and only going to get more and more important going forward as the cloud continues to become more central to all IT operations. So great stuff, as always, from Rubrik. So with that, folks, we have one more little piece of business, and that is the Amazon gift card prize drawing. $250 for you to hopefully boost your gift shopping now, right? Make you give your credit card a little bit of a break here, right? With that. So let's do that right now. The winner of the $250 for this event is Tim Van Gompel from Wisconsin. Congratulations to you, Tim. We're going to be in touch to get you your card. With that, folks, on behalf of the Actual Tech Media team, I do want to thank Rubrik for making this event possible. Thank you, attendees, for being here and for your great questions. On a personal note, this is our last event of 2024. I have had so much fun with all of you this year, for spending time with you. Thank you for spending time with me. It's truly been a delight to be doing these events. And if I don't see you before, then have a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year. I'll see all y'all in 2025. Thanks again, everyone.